My story actually goes back 20 years because I developed back problems that long ago. I remember one incident lifting a box of heavy books and something snapped in my back, and ever since then I've had back trouble. Through the years, my episodes were few and far between. For the most part, I would get pain in the lower back, I would get spasms, I'd have a few days where I couldn't walk and I'd be in excruciating pain. I would rest, take some muscle relaxants, and then I'd be fine. In between, I could do anything. I could exercise, live a normal life. And as I got older, it just seemed the episodes got more frequent, and each time would last a little longer. Earlier this year, it got very severe. I had back pain. I thought it would be the usual event, and I hadn't even done anything. I remember I was just bending down, picking something up when it started. And I figured it would last a few days, but it never went away this time. This was around February of this year. And the pain continued, got worse. I couldn't do anything anymore. Exercise was out of the question. I had difficulty walking. The pain now went down my leg, my left leg. I was in pain 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I started taking Advil and Aleve, different over-the-counter, medicines, anti-inflammatory, try to relieve the pain, but nothing really helped. I would have slight relief for a short time, and the pain would be back. It was in bed I would have it. I got to a point I couldn't even get dressed without help. My wife had to help me put my shoes on, etc., etc. Everything was an ordeal. It affected my life to the point work was a chore. I couldn't enjoy anything. It was really a very difficult time for me. Finally, after realizing that this wasn't going away, I went and had an MRI. I had one years back, and I did have one herniated disc, so I felt it was important to see what had happened. And needless to say, I now had 3 or 4 herniated discs and some bulging discs. I saw a neuroradiologist who did it for me and said, "You need surgery as soon as possible," and he recommended not even waiting. I spoke to a surgeon who concurred and felt that was the way to go. However, I wasn't really so set to do that. I just knew from patients of mine that had back surgery and really didn't get the relief that they expected. Some of them did okay. Some of them didn't get better at all. So for me, I wasn't ready to do that. I had heard from a friend of mine who had done this non-invasive stretching, and I was very skeptical about it, not knowing much about it. So I really didn't even give it any thought. And then another friend of mine, a physician, told me about the same kind of technique, a non-invasive way of stretching the spine. And he had heard it was a very good thing, and it really worked. So I started giving it some thought now because 2 different people told me about it. So I went online and I looked it up a bit, and that led me to Dr. Keller and this chiropractic center. And I was in so much pain and almost desperate. I said, I got to try something. So I came here. They were very nice. They took me right away. And the first day I had a treatment on the DRX machine that lasted for about 45 minutes. And I couldn't believe in just one session, I already had 50% relief of my pain. I was like a new person. Even though I was still in pain, it was much less, and I was able to at least walk and do basic things. So over the next few weeks, I came for additional sessions, and really, I'd have to say in 2-3 weeks, I was pain-free. I had no pain or very slight pain, and I was functioning normal. I could do anything. I could bend, I could stretch, I could do my work without any pain at all. I was totally off medication. And it was, for me, a miracle, because I never thought anything could work that quickly and that efficiently. So I continued the treatments, and I did several treatments, and I am now about I'd say 2 months since I finished the protocol, and I've been pain-free, doing everything, and I feel great. And I realize this is my story, and it worked for me, and it was a great thing. And I would encourage anyone who's having these kind of problems certainly to check it out. The staff here are really unbelievable. I went back to my own office and looked at my staff, and I said, I wish I could have people like this in my office. They're kind, they're efficient, they know what they're doing, they're courteous. One is nicer than the other. I have zero complaints, and I really mean that. Somebody who has an office with a lot of staff, the staff here is terrific.